Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, welcome to another episode of the Jake Botel Sports Experience. On today's episode, we conclude our 2022 Senior All-Ireland Hurling Championship team profiles with a look at Wexford. If you haven't checked out the other team profile videos in the series yet, there's a playlist with all 6 Joe McDonough Cup teams available. There's a playlist with all 5 Munster hurling team profiles available. And with Wexford's done, that will conclude all 6 Leinster teams for you. If you'd be so kind, chuck me a subscribe. It sends good vibes your way and helps me grow the channel, so it's a win-win. Wexford, their nickname, the Yellow Bellies. Their manager, Darragh Egan, since 2021, this is his first campaign of championship hurling with this team since taking the job. Their captain, Lee Chin, and their most recent title came in 1996. So it's been almost 30 years now since Wexford last etched their name on hurling's holy grail. Their new manager, Darragh Egan, has the side playing with a new style and swagger, and they'll fancy their chances to cause a few surprises come championship time, even if the league campaign finished with a bit of a bitter taste in the semi-final against Waterford. Speaking of that league campaign, let's check out their National Hurling League form for you in 2022. You couldn't have scripted a better series of pool games for Wexford than what they had in 2022. They started out beating the reigning All-Ireland champions Limerick by 3 points. They went to Clare and beat them. They beat Henry Shefflin's Galway team by 6 points in Galway. They beat Offaly by 7 points. They beat Cork, last year's runner-up in the All-Ireland Championship, by 5 points. So they race away to this 5-0 record. They find themselves in the semi-final against Waterford. And unfortunately for Wexford and Darragh Egan, they were absolutely demolished in that semi-final. There were few games really as lopsided. Maybe you can find other games that were of greater margins, but watching this game, the difference in performance between Wexford and Waterford on that day was stark. Wexford losing 16 to 5-20, and Waterford had, 4 or 5 other opportunities to score goals in that game. Mark Fanning made some amazing stops for Wexford in the goal. So Wexford, ultimately, I think a successful league campaign under their new manager, Darragh Egan. They go 5-1. They score 7 goals, 106 points, concede 9 goals, 95 points for a plus 5 point differential. Obviously, the point differential skewed quite a bit by that 19-point loss to Waterford. I'll show you some of the individual scorers for Wexford in this campaign. Now, Lee Chin, who is normally, one of their leading scorers, didn't play a lot of game time in this league campaign. Obviously, the focus, for him is getting back for championship. So they had Rory O'Connor, 3 goals, 37 points, leading the way. Jack O'Connor, 0 goals, 19 points. Diarmuid O'Keefe, 1 goal and 5 points from the midfield. And Connor McDonald, 8 points. Those 4 players combining to score 4 goals, 69 points for a total of 81. So what are my expectations for this Wexford team in 2022? Well, Darragh Egan had Wexford absolutely humming in the league right up until they hit that Waterford brick wall. They should fancy themselves as that 3rd team in Leinster at the very worst, and 2nd if they can find a way past Henry Shefflin's Galway or maybe Brian Cody's Kilkenny. But I'd say really Galway would be the target to overhaul for Wexford. They're tough. Their stick work was exceptional. Lee Chin will return. So there's a lot to come back, and there was a lot to like about the way in which Wexford were playing in the league right up until they hit that sudden stop in the semi-final. My question for them is, was that semi-final display a defensive exposure? Did Waterford show other teams how you can break down Wexford's defensive structure? I feel like Wexford were taking the league pretty seriously under new management, looking to bring in this new style of hurling that they're playing. Or was this just an off day? If it's just an off day, well, that's all right. Then the other 5 games of the league campaign are more indicative of where Wexford are at But if there was something exposed, then that could be a concern that they need to address as they head for championship. Thanks so much for watching these team profile videos. I really appreciate it. If you haven't watched the others, go and check out the Joe McDonough Cup teams. Go and look at the Munster Hurling teams. Check out the other Leinster sides. Get yourself up to scratch ahead of this weekend's championship start. See that button there? Hit subscribe. It sends good vibes your way. It helps me grow the channel. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching.